everyone. Thank you for joining DIGITIMES Asia Smart City webinar. I'm Rebecca Wu, your MC today. In today's session, we'll be discovering the digital transformation of smart cities. Find out what are the applications and connected solutions that drive city extensive improvements, creating better quality of life for residents and business opportunities for enterprises. We're honored to have Dr. Ayesha Khanna, the co-founder and CEO of ADDO AI, as our keynote speaker today. We're also very honored to have two reputative enterprises joining us in today's session. The first one is GCS, Great Connection System, a recognized company in Taiwan that positioned itself as IoT system integrators and application services providers. Its services including IoT product development, integration, applications, and solutions such as smart city infrastructure, smart home, smart healthcare, smart campus, and smart hotel. The second one is Zhonghua Telecom. It is the largest integrated telecommunications service provider in Taiwan, with leading offering in domestic and international fixed communication, mobile communication, broadband, and internet services. In addition to these traditional services, it also provides information and communication technology services to enterprise customers with big data, information security, cloud computing, and IDC capabilities, and is expanding businesses into innovative technology services such as IoT, AI, etc. And before we start, I would like to remind all of you that if you have any questions regarding smart city applications and solutions, feel free to leave your message in the chat room on your right-hand side. Our speakers and experts will help answer all of your questions in real time. And also, the most important of all, we will be sending prizes after the webinar. The first 50 participants that completed the online questionnaire will win a $5 Amazon gift cards. So stay tuned till the end and don't miss your chance to win the prize. And now, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Ayesha Khanna. Dr. Ayesha Khanna is the co-founder and CEO of ADDO AI, an artificial intelligence advisory firm and incubator. She has been a strategic advisor on artificial intelligence and smart cities to leading corporations and governments. Dr. Ayesha also serves on the board of Infocom Media Development Authority, IMDA, the Singapore government's agency that develops and regulates its world-class technology sector. She has also advised clients such as Singapore's largest public transport company, SMRT, Japan's largest insurance firm, Sompo, and Smart Dubai, the government agency tasked to transform Dubai into a leading smart city. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Dr. Ayesha Khanna and her speech of sustainability and the future of cities, as well as evolution of smart cities. Welcome, Dr. Ayesha.
Hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to talk about Smart Cities 2.0 with you today. Let's think a little bit about the evolution of the smart city. If you think about a future smart city, you want one that is resilient. And we've just been through an incredibly difficult time with the pandemic. So what would a city look like? A futuristic city that is resilient and sustainable. We can go to China for one example, where near Beijing, they're building the first future COVID-proof city And I'm going to use that as an example to show you how every city is really aiming for the same thing. So one of the first things that you'll notice about this city is that it's so small. Really, it's like a city within a city, or hyper-local cities that are just a few blocks, a few city blocks. And in that city, the idea is that in 15 minutes, you will be able to get everything you need to live a complete life. Whether you are dropping your children to school, doing your work or workout at home, if you need a clinic, if you need groceries delivered, everything should be just 15 minutes away, a concept that was really popularized by the mayor of Paris after a French philosopher talked about it as the new urban goal. Now, a couple of things to notice in this city. First of all of it is made of wood, because wood, unlike cement, does not create carbon emissions. In fact, if you treat wood as they're trying to in universities and create a carbon absorbent wood material, it can lower your carbon footprint. The other thing you notice is on the top right, there's a co-working space. So let's say your refrigerator broke down or your laptop is not working. Why should you have to call a repairman or go to one? You just go 5 minutes across the street to the co-working space where there are 3D printers and you can literally print out anything for your home. You can also see in the lower right that there are basically no cars. And in the lower left, that the food is also grown within this small block. So this concept of the 15-minute city, let's now go and think about absolutely new cities and what they will look like. Absolutely new cities will be like the one I showed you, but absolutely existing cities or brownfield cities have to be retrofitted. They have to be retrofitted to be smart, sustainable, and complete. So in Tokyo, what you see is these 3 buildings are getting a post-pandemic makeover. There will be a lot of facial recognition in them. So imagine a building. Don't think of infrastructure as dumb bricks or dumb cement. Think of it as intelligent, live, maybe even having a personality. It's an entirely new way to think about cities where there's physical infrastructure, but with a layer of AI and data on it that makes it dynamic, interesting, and intelligent. So the idea is that when you enter a building, the building will talk to you. It will know what you like. It will recognize you through facial recognition. You will tell the elevator where to go. You will tell the building if your tub is clogged. You will tell the building if there's a problem, and automatically the AI will inform the relevant office or building management office. And entire buildings would physically look different. First of all, they will be made of materials that are either wood or sustainable. And second of all, they will be outfitted with these terraces so that drones can come in and actually deliver your food, your supplies. Because remember, to be pandemic or bioterrorism or war or any kind of calamity, climate change that we may face, cities must have their supply chains from warehouses to homes really accessible and easy. And e-commerce delivery is there, but drones will soon be another way, and buildings should be able to receive them. Now let's go inside the building itself. We have all been on Zoom. People get Zoom fatigue because it's tiring and we don't get a sense that we're together. But Facebook, now known as Meta, is thinking of an entirely new work experience where you put on your glasses and they won't be clunky anymore. Remember, they'll be light like mine or even contacts. And suddenly you're immersed in an office environment. And they're not cartoon characters, but they look exactly like you. So you can see these two people are speaking to each other, and their avatars are mimicking them 100%, including if they have a slight furrowing of the eyebrows, if they are smiling slightly, all these non-verbal cues that are so important for social presence. And if someone is speaking, your acoustics will hear it from that side. And if you shake someone's hands, if you're wearing these gloves, you will feel the sensor and pressure on your fingers. So you can truly convert your home into an office without feeling like you are still in the same room on Zoom and it's very uncomfortable. Now, step back. What else can you do with your physical space? Again, I want you to think of the space as dynamic. A space can be anything. If that's the case, then imagine that you wanted to go to the gym and you wanted a trainer because you can't motivate yourself to work out on your own. Very common amongst many of us, including me. There are new AI-powered gym equipment in the market, for example, Tonal. Tonal is like a mirror on your wall, and you pull down its arms. These are digital weight enabled. So I would pull down X amount, you may pull down X plus 30 pounds. And the idea is that there's an AI trainer that watches your form with computer vision, and any biometrics you're wearing, it can tell your heartbeat, your humidity, your perspiration, and it can tell you what to do in terms of exercises and push you to do more, just like a real trainer. And over time, this understanding of the trainer of you, its client, will get better and better, and it will be able to really focus on your posture, your form, your mobility, so that when you're in that space, your home, your office has truly become a full-fledged gym. Before, you had to go to the gym. It's huge. Yes, there are lots of people in it, but now maybe there's a way for you to do it with lots of people because there's a video mirror that you can all see as well. With holographs and others, I think it's just the beginning of what we can do at home. Let's push ourselves even more. What if you and your partner are having a baby? You need to have an ultrasound. Usually, when you have an ultrasound, you need to go to a hospital or a clinic. The clinic has a room, which is a doctor's office or an ultrasound room. There's a big machine over there, and they check the tummy to make sure the baby's heartbeat and the baby's okay. But in the new smart city, what if the clinic was right there in your home? Well, the first thing you have to realize is that what if the ultrasound machine shrunk from this to your iPhone, and the ultrasound itself was handheld? So this is possible with something called Butterfly Q, which even Bill Gates Foundation invested in. What happens is that you take the handheld ultrasound, you can check your child, you can check your pregnant partner, and check the health of yourself. And there's an AI in the iPhone app, and it alerts you or the doctor if there's something wrong. Of course, it doesn't scare you. It will alert the doctor if something's wrong, and the doctor will get in touch with you, maybe over some social presence, immersive atmosphere. But certainly, it's one way to do your regular checkups without having to physically go maybe half an hour away and wait in line in a hospital. This is the future of the home, a space where anything can be done and any atmosphere can be created with this digital layer. And how does it help? It reduces your stress of commute. It allows you to have more meaningful relationships with your family, spend that quality time on your work, your passion, your friends. And that is really the aim of the smart city. Now, it's really important what I just said. What is the aim of a smart city? What is your intention? Traditionally, we thought of a smart city as one which is very high tech, and there's lots of technology in it. But in Singapore, that's not how we think of a smart city. You know, some people think Singapore is the world's smartest city because we have been investing in technology infrastructure for decades. But in 2014, our Prime Minister said a smart nation is an outstanding place for people to live, work, and play in where the human spirit flourishes. And that is the definition of a smart city. And I think it's really good in directing the way you deploy the technology I talked about in a city. For example, Singapore has one of the world's fastest aging populations. We want to look after our aging citizens. If you just go to a smart city expert, here's the solution they will give to you. Put cameras in the home so that we know if the elderly person is okay. Put sensors in the carpet and other places so that we know if they slip, we can automatically call the doctor. In fact, people are making pills that have sensors on them so that when you forget to ingest your pill, if the person has dementia, for example, there will be an email sent to their children or to their doctor. There's nothing wrong with this idea. But let's step back. Let's not just think about the technology. Let's really think about the biggest problems the elderly face. Here are the three biggest problems. Number one, correctly, is injuries. They fall, their bones are weak, they injure themselves. But also, they die of loneliness. And then the third thing in Singapore is they die from car accidents or they get severely injured. So if you look at these three and now you step back, let's tackle them one by one. For home injuries, that smart home that I talked about makes sense. And in fact, in Singapore, our subsidized housing is set up in such a way that there are cameras, there are sensors, there are panic buttons, and your children are in touch with you and they can get notifications if there's any problem at all. But what about the other issues? Well, you don't require a technical person for that. You require an urban designer for that. You require multi-generational residential and commercial spaces. Do you want to put your elderly far away in nursing homes so that they're lonely? Or do you want to do what Singapore is doing? It's retrofitting, even playgrounds, so that the elderly can be there. And when they come out, they see people, they see children, they see activity, and they have joy. They are happy. That's the purpose of the smart city. And so here, they put a playground and a nursing home right next to each other. You can see the kids are happy and the senior citizens are happy. And now you have to tackle the point that accidents happen. So new districts that are being built in Singapore, like Khanna, they're completely built around being car light. Public transport, mixed residential places, car light with basically autonomous vehicles. And not only autonomous vehicles, but also many, many, many other features that make it green and sustainable. So now you can see that we have dealt with the fundamental problem of the elderly facing issues through a multidisciplinary approach. And that's the other thing. A smart city, if you have your intention right to help your citizens, you need all disciplines: designers, urban architects, sustainability experts, project managers, of course, technical engineers, software developers, artificial intelligence engineers, but equally, you need social anthropologists. Smart cities is an incredible new arena where all of us can contribute and make a difference. Here in Tenga, sustainability is also very important. And you'll see they're very green on top, but full of technology. So AC, you need an air con because it's so humid and hot in Singapore. So cold water using solar power, chilled with using solar power, will be piped to homes, and that will generate carbon dioxide savings equivalent to taking 4,500 cars off the road each year. Smart lighting, not a new concept, will be across the town. And there'll be central trash collection because waste management is a huge issue in cities, with sensors so that robots automatically come and collect trash whenever the garbage is full. More than that, because it's car light, when you have to go between these townships, which are like hyper-local cities in of themselves, you can use public transport or urban air taxis. The Volocopter is an electrical vehicle, electric vertical takeoff and landing developer that has electrically powered aircraft to transport people, and that will launch its taxi services in 2 years in Singapore. And in fact, we are experimenting with new technologies throughout the country. And the question then is, when you have a design and you start building, how do you know that you are actually going to build a place that will be beneficial to society? Well, now we can see the impact before a single brick is laid. And that is the concept of the digital twin. So digital twin is when you build the city digitally. And then whether you're making a road or a bridge or putting in a new building, you can simulate it in the digital twin and know the impact it will have, not only on the environment, but also on the city, its residents, its parks, and imagine also on its economy. Singapore built a $73 million ultra data rich live replica of our city. And you can see every single square foot of the city has been digitally created. And it used a humongous amount of data to do that. Built on 14 core data sets, 3 million images, billions of data points, and 160,000 images taken from air to see, for example, as you build, what is the impact to climate change? What is the impact on the elderly? What is the impact on children, on business? And it's not a new concept. In fact, Orlando, Florida, will have a digital twin developed with the help of game developer Unity. And you can literally walk around every square inch of the region. Las Vegas, Los Angeles, New York, Phoenix, all cities are building digital twins. In fact, we should really think of doing nothing in a smart city without a digital twin. Now, I've talked about a massive digital twin. But let's talk about something smaller. Let's hone in on one need of a smart city, which is urban farming. So by 2050, it is expected that 10 billion people will live in cities and 80% of all food will be consumed in cities. So we need to grow food in cities. Where should we grow it? Now, as I told you, you really need to let your imagination fly. Usually we think of vertical farming or small kind of shelves that you can keep in your house. But let's think of converting any space into a vertical farm. How about a tunnel underground that was used as a bomb shelter in World War II? So here is, right beneath your footsteps in London, the world's first underground urban farm. And on the left, you can see that it was actually a World War II bomb shelter and a home to Windrush immigrants. But on the right, today, it actually is an urban vertical farm. Using hydroponics, using sensors, it is able to grow 33 meters below London's Clapham High Street and produces 12 times more than what is produced on a regular farm. How does it do that? Well, it is carefully controlled. The light, the atmosphere, the humidity, the water, it's all optimized to actually give plants the maximum they need to create the most nutritious and most abundant produce. Actually, all of these sensors, lights are controlled by a digital twin. And that digital twin is miles away in Cambridge University. So in Cambridge University, they control, using artificial intelligence, they get the data from this underground farm in London that tells them how the plants are doing, how much water they need, how much soil they need, how much fertilizer they need, and automatically it's given to them through the AI that's constantly optimizing the environment for the production, which is why it's not only sustainable, lower carbon footprint, but it's also much more productive use than agricultural land. Now, speaking of sustainability, these 500 cities that are going to launch digital twins are going to be using a lot of data. And I've talked to you about this. Everything that I've talked to you about is data and artificial intelligence, powering robots, powering autonomous vehicles, powering homes. But are they sustainable? It's very important that whenever we talk about technology, we talk about the good side, but we always reduce its risk. Now, 1% of global electricity is used to power data centers. The more data you have, the more artificial intelligence you run, the more data centers you will need. And data centers consume electricity, and that means they're not good for the environment. So there are new kinds of technologies like immersive cooling. And on the right, Microsoft actually put their data center underwater in New Zealand so that it can remain cool. And a lot of heat is produced. This heat can be reduced by using artificial intelligence to cool down and run the heat pumps in a certain order to make them twice as efficient as the industry standard. And whatever heat is produced, you want to use it. You don't want to waste it. So in Ireland, Denmark, Finland, these huge companies like Facebook are using the heat to warm up homes in winter. So Facebook's data center in Denmark heats up to 6,900 homes, and it's only expanding to more. I want you to think now about the cities that we have, and then think about more computational power that we will need as we enter what is known kind of as the metaverse, where you have a great deal of more and more data. So as we build parallel cities in the metaverse, as we augment our physical infrastructure, I'd like you to take you back to what the Prime Minister of Singapore said, and always keep that in mind. Why are we doing it? We're doing it to create a place where the human spirit flourishes. And the human spirit, this is my last point, also requires dignity in how its data is used. So all of this data not only is computationally intensive, and we must control its impact on the environment, but it is also important that we protect the privacy of city residents, that there's governance, that you are responsible, that the artificial intelligence and data is not used to punish people, to manipulate them, but in fact, it is used to improve their lives and preserve their data dignity, which means always keep in mind that your citizens, much like the European Union says, should protect the data of citizens. And we are seeing precisely this. We are seeing that countries all over the world are now focused on protecting citizen data. Because your smart city is not supposed to watch you so that some companies make a profit. It's supposed to make your life better and easier. So I will end by saying that Smart City 2.0 is about hyper-local cities that are built by multi-dimensional and multidisciplinary teams to make the lives of citizens more meaningful, easier, and give them more opportunities for economic growth. And at the same time, there's governance by the government and regulation so that all of this technology is done in a responsible manner. And that too, by the way, is Smart City 2.0 because citizens are more aware now than they were before. And this is an evolving area. I'm so excited that you are taking an interest in this. And it doesn't matter what your background is. We all can play a part in Smart City 2.0. Thank you so much for letting me talk about a subject I love so much. And I really hope one day we can meet in person as well. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Ayesha, for your excellent sharing. Smart cities development should not start purely with technologies, but the idea of assisting people to solve their problems or become the aspirational goal for citizens. And now, I would like to welcome our first session speaker, Tok Ek Hong. Mr. Tok is the Technical Director of GCS, Great Connection System. He's been working on IoT solution for various ministries in Singapore and is now the system integrator for providing end-to-end IoT solutions in GCS. He'll be introducing the intelligent, or we call unmanned space management solution in smart cities. So now welcome, Mr. Tok.
A good day to everybody. Welcome to Intelligent Space Management Solution presented by Great Connection System. My name is Ek Hong, and I'm the CTO for GCS, Great Connection System Singapore. I welcome all online today to join me to discuss about the GCS plan on how we play a part in Singapore's Smart Nation Plan, and our solution may be applicable to your requirement too. Our agenda for today will be 1. The Smart Singapore Nation Vision. 2. A brief background of our company profile. 3. Our space management solution. Some case study and the trends we see in the futures. So without further ado, let's begin the presentation. So to begin with, what is the Singapore Smart Nation vision? As our Prime Minister, Mr. Lee, has said, the vision is for Singapore to be a smart nation, a nation where people live meaningful and fulfilled life, enabled seamlessly by technology, offering exciting opportunities for everybody. We should see it in our daily life, where networks of sensors and smart devices enable us to live sustainably and comfortably. We should see it in our communities where technologies will be enabled many people to connect to one another easily and intensely. We should see it in our future where we can create possibility for ourselves beyond what we had imagined what is today. So for a smart city to be possible, our ministry actually come up with a digital readiness blueprint. And there are 4 areas where we can touch on where we can become a smart city or a smart nation. So I should explain some of these points and elaborate more on that. The first one is to expand and enhance digital access for inclusivity. A basic part of being digital ready is having a place, the means to access online information, networks, and communities. Access is no longer just about computing devices and internet connectivity. We are increasingly finding that to transact in this electronic connected world today, there are more digital elements we are using almost every day. For example, e-commerce, and in Singapore, we're trying to push out a national identity in digital format, and many more we can think of. A very good example today is that even today, when a new baby is born, or when somebody passes away, we no longer issue a physical paper. Instead, all are done on digital platform now. Second part, we want to infuse digital literacy into a national consciousness. A digital society is where one citizen not only having access to technology, but also embrace it, utilizing technology confidently and effectively to connect to the world around them. Digital literacy with the world, digital literacy is defined here as having skills, confidence, and motivation to use technology, and it's a key journey towards a smart nation vision. Besides appreciation what digital technology can do and know how to use it, digital literacy also being able to critically think about the information you receive. There are just too many fake news and too many different type of information available today. So you must and we should have the consciousness to know how to differentiate between the real news and fake news. Thirdly, it's more related to us. It's to empower community and also business to drive widespread adoption of technology. So to thrive in this technology-rich society, it's not just enough for people to be the consumer of the technology. Instead, they should also be familiar with this technology and be motivated and confident to use them to create product, contents, and services, and to connect with their community. In order to promote motivation and confidence, Singaporeans must be given the opportunity to participate, create, and connect with each other using technology, and business is definitely playing an important part in enabling this whole ecosystem. Of course, we should also promote digital inclusion by the design. It is the business or the company's role, whether it's app, website, or workshop, to make it easy for everybody to get involved. The design, the content, the language, and the applicability of the initiative of people's life can go a long way in making sure everybody can be involved in this process. Okay, so this is so much so for the vision of a smart city vision itself. But what are always some of the challenges involved in the smart city, what we're talking about? First and foremost, in what we're seeing is called device heterogeneity, which means that there's so many devices out there in the smart city today, made by so many different vendors, so many different manufacturers, that it's not easy for them to come together and work together to perform a similar or function that's good for everybody. The design operation cost of putting them together is not easy. It's hard and it's challenging and requires a lot of system experience. Once you have all this information and data, there's so much data available also. the analysis of it, the usage of it, and what is the best thing you can get out of this data is also a challenge for us. And lastly, today we're talking about sustainability. All these are coming more and more, are also a part of the smart city challenge we are seeing today. So how does GCS play a part in all these smart city plans? So, but to begin with, let me share a bit about our GCS history. Grid Connection System, GCS, we started in 2016 in Taiwan. At the time, our vision is to utilize AI techniques to create a fully automated intelligent system space management for different industry and different needs. With the Southeast Asia market accelerated growth in smart system implementation, GCS decided to venture its regional arms into Singapore in 2018 to capture this fast-growing market. GCS is able to provide IoT solution quickly and fast to various industries across the Southeast Asia region, especially Singapore. And we offer more than just digital transformation. GCS also provides a total solution from hardware installation, system design, business logic recommendation, and to the service delivery itself. Let me share a bit on our system solution, how we architect the whole thing. So if you see from this diagram, there's basically three major parts. The first is the usage, where we define a different use case. It can be a facility management, office co-sharing, or office itself. A living space, it can be your small office, home office, or your smart home. Or it can be a big facilities, sports hall, sport complex, and many others. In the middle portion, which you see is a GCS smart platform where all the intelligence are being done. And lastly is a device side where we have different devices all connected together and interface with our hardware interface layer. Our system solution enables us to leverage on different types of sensors. It can be a Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or any other new and upcoming short-range RF technology, and we have make it easy for them to integrate into our hardware interface layer. In this way, we're not limited by the hardware vendors, and we can provide the best solution a customer ever need. On our cloud side, we also build applications that can easily integrate with the middleware. We modularize our design so that we can scale the design fast, customize the different customer needs, and at the same time, providing a core function in a very needed nimble budget. With all this in mind, it allows GCS to build a full solution that's truly flexible, cost efficient, and meet customer ever-changing requirement. Today, the customer requirement don't stay the same from day one to the time the project is delivered. It's keep on changing and it's very fast and very challenging at many times because of the fast changing pace of our environment. So if you look at this whole solution, our solution actually solves part of the smart city challenges of working with different type of devices, enabling us to work with different vendors to bring out the best of their solution so as to meet the customer solution. Okay, for this diagram, you can see that this is the future of the work after COVID-19 as predicted by McKinsey. So from work arena with high physical proximity will definitely be most disrupted in the short term during COVID-19. And it's not going to just be disrupted, it's going to stay for a long period of time. So for example, medical care, on-site customer interaction, personal care, home support, these are really much being disrupted. And computer-based office are also the one you can see they are changing trend now. There's also a digitalization process that's going very fast. 2 to 5 times growing e-commerce is expected over the next few years. And with all this, you can see that there's more automation coming in. There's an uptick in the use of robotics, process automation, and AI. So 2020 to 2022 is definitely a challenging year for many of us in Singapore and the rest of the world due to this COVID. It has disrupted us, the way we live, the way we socialize, and definitely speed up the digitalization in many aspects of our economy. I would like to touch a bit more here on the future of the office. We used to think that only when we are physically together, having face-to-face interaction meeting, that we are able to get things done quick and fast. Meeting, working, interacting online seems to be a backup just 3 years ago. But if you look at today's context, it is the mainstream of doing things. Today, look at your PC, your handphone today. There are so many different online meeting tools and so indispensable. Just like today's webinar is a very good example. If not of the webinar technology, we will have to come together in one physical place and talk about all these things. But the technology today is moved so fast that it enables us to connect to anyone around the world and able to talk about this topic in the online virtual world. Although the COVID situation had come to endemic stage for many parts of the world, but the last 2 years work from home had made us realize that office work could still be done without being physically in office. We no longer have to be confined to 9 to 5 working hours. People start to enjoy the freedom of deciding what time to start the work, what time to start the rest, or when they will start to handle some emergency family situation. And this leads to a better work-life balance. It's a trend that companies cannot ignore and should not ignore. HR must realize that to retain talent, attract more people to the company also must start to restructure their hardware to keep up this time. This is where smart office solution become more important in these coming days. Just to give you an idea of the office vacancy in Singapore, there have been since after 2020, there have been an uptick in vacancy rate since then. Big companies are starting to realize that remote management can produce the same result and at the same time reduce office costs. Many workers, I think you have seen the news, prefer hybrid working mode for work-life balance, reduce the need to waste the time on transportation. And you should know that sometimes peak hour traveling is never a nice thing to do, especially when coupled with wet weather or very bad traffic jam or sometimes train disruption. So that's why I think office vacancy rate is going down. But at the same time, we also think that the office will not disappear altogether. It might be downsized, but at the same time, co-working company like WeWork, JustCo, and co-sharing office will all start to burst up and they'll start to take over all these places and allow people to co-work together in different places. So the trend of smart office, share office is definitely on the rise today. So this is a space owner insight. So in this post-endemic era, the hybrid office working mode has become a trend, which means that employee can choose whether to work in company or not. And under this trend, 63% of the organizations surveyed are changing the way they design their office space. It can be co-sharing, downsizing, or having more individual pods where one can go inside for online meeting for an hour and without disrupting or interrupting their colleague nearby. 80% are definitely going to redesign their collaborative spaces. And more than 90% responded that they're definitely going to use some system to track the floor plan and occupancy rate. This data allow companies to make good decisions on how to downsize, how much to downsize, and how much potential saving they can reduce from by renting less floor, and yet at the same time efficiently use the manpower and the places. So how does GCS play a part in all this trend? We believe that a smart space management is the way to go forward. And there's 3 areas where we think for space management solution. First, we think of it as a device personalization, where IoT devices are used within the personal space to connect it to the internet. This device personalization allow the devices to understand you better. It allows you to know that when you're coming to office, how much electricity you're using, how much carbon footprint you're producing. It also maybe helps in a way that when you're not around or you forget to turn on the power, it enables us to automatically turn on the power, reduce the wastages, and also make the best use of the IoT devices. The second part of the space management solution is on the unmanned management. So this unmanned management is more on the access control, the facility management to be further automated. So, for example, the automated access control allow you to control when you want people to come into these places. And for security reason, maybe for example, during certain part of the month or year, or you do not allow certain employee to come back to the office to do certain works, or during the night time where there's some backup data or something to be done, access are being controlled, not to let any other people who are not supposed to authorize come back to office to do certain things. In addition, it also allow you to dim the lights or turn on aircon when there are no people working in certain areas. And it also allow you to do scheduling of cleaning more efficiently. I remember when I was in the office last time, the cleaning lady always come and vacuum the floor, making it very loud and noisy. And it's impossible to have any cause of meeting during a certain period of time. So by having a management, we're able to know when there are lesser people or when there's some people in office, and we can schedule the cleaning lady or the cleaning personnel to come in to help us to create a place where it's less disruptive to our normal work routine and allow them to do the best of their job. The last thing is AI within a smart system. All this information, we can collect data and apply AI techniques to create intelligent system for space management. So for example, in the long run, we're able to calculate the usage rate of the table. We're able to find the consumption each person using or around an area. We're able to have a better idea how long people are working and not working. This allows us to do better planning of space, scheduling of cleaning or maintenance, and also a better facility management. The core offering of the GCS is to offer a turnkey system automation operation integration for digitalization of business transformation in various industries. Building on top of our core platform expertise in wireless hardware technology, we now cover a full spectrum of turnkey offering from system design, hardware, business logic implementation, and all the way to service delivery. We empower our customer to enhance their business offering by providing a unique user experience and improve the efficiency of the business operation for scaling. Today, we have a region team of diverse, mixed, experienced, and talented individuals to carry out the building of next generation of business enabler. Our unmanned space management system comprises of various modules that allow customers to customize what they need and based on the budget to create the best solution that best suit them. So a short explanation of this unmanned system solution we have. We divide them into two simple portions. First is the front end. The other one is the back-end management. So on the back-end management, it's a very straightforward process. You control the access to the places. On top of that, we also have environmental sensor module so that we can have the optimum temperature for working. Scheduling module, and sometimes to enhance the whole place, we also input a digital display management module to allow us to do broadcast and let customer know what's happening since not everybody is around our time. We also do membership management, database management, and also allow you to call a third party, which do some of the company system. Okay, on the front end system, we have the member module registration, we have the reservation system for the customer, and we have to do some profile also for customers so that we can best tailor the thing best for their own personal experience. And we also have some payment module to allow them to do payment everything on the single app itself. So all in all, this is a very complete solution which we hold for the customer. Okay, maybe I'll share with you one of the success story we had with OSpace. One of our customers in Singapore is known as OSpace. They are unmanned gym system in Singapore, a small private gym. The requirement is to have is a unmanned. There's some receptionists out there. Here they want to provide good security, and they also want to provide a good experience for a customer through a fully automated gym. And also they want to reduce expenses in maintaining and ensure the best efficient way of using the place. and they want to collect data so they can develop a potential business strategy for future expansion. So they come to us, and from there, we provide a full system solution for them. So what do? We build a multi-function management platform where we can set up different permission for different users. We create a member management system for them so that they can monitor the members, know when they're coming, and also do a tailored marketing event for these different customers. We do active content management for them so that they are able to give the customer the best thing or the most suitable experience or thing for them. So all this, and of course, we also create data repository where they can use the information for their future marketing purposes. The other story we have is in Taiwan, in Taoyuan, where we do a smart campus for university. The school have a total of about 16,000 teachers and students, and they want to restrict the venues access. They want to reduce the restriction on the venue access based on the profile of each teachers or students. The student can be alumni student, existing students, or some part-time student. So by using the electronic ticket system, we're able to do a differentiation, and using our backend control, we are able to ensure that people do not abuse the places. They only can access the places they're going, and they only can go to the places based on the ticket they bought. And using the place also use intelligence system to record all the operation digitally, so that we can provide the school real-time support for any incident happening. And with all the environmental data collected, we're able to optimize sometimes even the power, so that we know that when this place is not being used or there's hardly any people there, we're able to turn off the aircon, turn off the light, so that they are able to save on some electrical power consumption. All in all, this is a work still in progress. The school is still trying to understand how to make the best use of this data so that they're able to plan for future expansion and also enable them to understand how to manage the place more efficiently. Coming to the end of this whole presentation, we believe that the future trend in the world, or in Singapore at least, will be more of a co-sharing concept in many aspects. It can be like one or two study room or work pod, as you see on the left-hand side, or it can be a very minimal interaction of a private gym where people prefer to work out with one or two of their good friends. Or it can be like smart campus, where there are many unmanned space and co-sharing space for students and teachers to do discussion. Or it can be a smart home, since everybody's work from home these days. So it's important that homes are also equipped with some smart technology to reduce noise, to ensure the best use of the electricity, and also to reduce your to have a good and nice environment, enable you to work as efficiently as an office. Hence, we are enhancing our solution to suit all this trend, where we believe it will bring greater values to our customer and in return to the user. We can rely on the data collected to create a more personalized experience where people feel safe and comfortable to use this co-sharing space provided. And we also build our platform to allow more partners to come on board to join us for this journey. With this, I'd like to thank everybody for listening patiently to my presentation, and I hope you guys enjoy as much as I do or get something out from this presentation. Thank you very much. Lastly, I would like to thank to some of our partners who will be working together with us for this intelligent space management solution. These are the partners we have and suppliers that enable us to have this whole full ecosystem without any working together seamlessly for the whole solution itself. So thank you very much again to everybody for listening to my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Talk, for the insightful sharing and give us more ideas about the unmanned space management solution and case studies in both Singapore and Taiwan. We now have a well-rounded concept of smart city applications in every aspect. And that's all for the sessions today. Thank you all for your participation, especially to our keynote speaker, Dr. Ayesha Khanna, and the session speakers from Great Connection System and Zhenghua Telecom for their wonderful speeches on smart city applications and solutions. And I would like to remind all of you that don't forget to fill out the online survey. The first 50 participants will win a $5 Amazon gift card. So don't miss out your chance to win the big prize. And your opinion matters to us, of course. Once again, thank you all for your time today. I'm your MC, Rebecca.